Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. So last video I did an introduction talking about the different issues that we did solve. I know it's kind of hard to just talk about it, so I'd rather show you. So today I'm going to show you one of our modules, and this right here is the client management module. So the goal of this module is to help you manage clients and client contracts and client jobs. As we know in dump trucking, everything is very chaotic. So having good organization of things is the best route to go. And as you know, trying to keep track of all these things, including documents and stuff like that, using Excel or using like Google Drive and stuff, it's not really the best. So I'm going to show you how this software makes everything easier. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and populated some data in here. This is not real data. As you can see, we're in the sandbox. So I'm just going to go over the different elements of client management and what we came up with and how it can save you, over 20 hours a week. So as you know, this could be used for by brokers. This could be used for dump truck companies that keep track of their clients and their jobs. Um, it could be also for construction. It's just basically as the shoe fits. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go through this. As you can see, these are a list of all my clients. There are two views in here, which we can create more, but it's active clients and then inactive clients. As you can see right here, these are my active clients. If I would like to make a client inactive, I just select and I hit deactivate and boom, just like that. Yep, it's gonna ask you for confirmation. Yep, just like that. That client right there has gone to inactive. So just showing you a couple cool features in there. Let me go ahead and activate that. So this main view right here is the grid view. So the grid view just gives you quick information about a particular client that you may need off the cuff or something like that. But when we go ahead and click into the client, let me pick a random one. When we go ahead and click into the client, now we get to see everything laid out nicely for us. So we have the client name, the client address, and then basically their payment details. And keep this in mind. This will come up when we go over the invoicing module and how we made that very easy. Um, so as you can see your client. What does red means? It means that it's all required information right here. And right here, you can see all this client's contacts. So instead of, you know how it goes. Somebody just has all the contacts and it's just in their phone and they know the contacts and stuff like that. That is all fine and dandy and does work, but as you know, it doesn't allow opportunity to scale and doesn't save time. So instead of trying to remember people's numbers, we save them in the system, and the system, can do a better job of remembering. So as I'm in here, I can go ahead and actually let me click on David right here. And as you can see, for his information, we get a, contact name, who exactly is he working for? So the client, as we can see, is Canon Asphalt. What his job title is, we got his phone number, his email, and then we got his office number right here. So this right here is not required. I want you guys to keep in mind all of this is customizable. So it you can add more fields in here if you want to keep track of more. Just keeping the template simple. I'm gonna go ahead and save and close. It's gonna take me back. And as you can see, we can see Canon Asphalt, all their client contacts. Cool things about the system and in terms of management is storing documents. As you can see, we can store documents directly to a particular client. And this is what I mean. So when you go ahead and you have documentation or something, contracts or agreements or I don't know, W-9, CO2s, just anything pertaining to a particular client, what you can do is you can go ahead and you can either create a document And I think that's what we'll actually do instead of uploading one. You could create a document or you can upload one. We're just going to create a document right here. We're just going to call this test canyon. All right. And it's going to go ahead and create a Word document for me. And as you can see, my Word document is created. This is a test to show document storage, right? So I'm done. It's all online, so it's auto saving. As you can see, I'm gonna go ahead and close that screen. And as you can see, bam, that document is right here. What makes this very good is if I go ahead and save and close this right here, we open up Canyon Asphalt. So if I go to Sky Blue, what you will see is Sky Blue, there's no documents in here. So I never really have to search for documents, or you know how we just have a big folders, everyone loves using folders and just storing it. That isn't the most efficient way. This way is boom, just like that. I click who I need to see. I can see all the documents relating to this client. This system right here of keeping documents, I'll show you how we use it in a cool way with storing tickets, which will be a different module. Hopefully I can drop that video soon. So in terms of clients, we have general information, client documents, and then we have client rates. As you can see, you can look at that view from different perspectives. You could look at the client rates pertaining to a particular client, or you could look at all client rates. And rates, we're talking about hourly rates. Same with contacts. So right here for Canyon, we can see all the contacts right here. But if I want to see every single contact that I had in my system, boom, just like that, I can see everything. I could come in here, I could filter, uh, I could also group, I could group, see right here. Um, so there's a lot of things you can do, but operating within a client makes it very easy to navigate. It's very intuitive. It's very easy to pick up as to how it works. So I'm going to go into the client rates. Client rates. So what we do is we store the client hourly rates different from storing the tonnage rate per job. So what we did was we separated the job and the hourly rate, because you could have a job that is hourly, or you could have a job which is tonnage. And then when the job is tonnage, we store that rate within the actual job entity. And the reason that we do that is, the hourly rates might not really change much, but the tonnage rate, they change per job. And in order to scale, having actual records of your client rates and everything that they have going on, it's way easier to track them this way. So let's go ahead. We don't have any in here for this company, so we'll go ahead and create one. So for client rates, it is very flexible. And what do I mean by flexible? So when I went ahead and created a new client rate, you see it automatically selected the company that I wanted. Um, and what you can do is you can store rates. Um, so I would just say all trucks, I don't know, like we'll just say dirt rate, right? Let's say it was hourly for all trucks. Let's say they just paid 120 for every job. And then, as you know, in dump trucking, which makes things a lot difficult to track, is the different axles. So based off of different axles, um, you could have different rates. But let's say for now, I'm just gonna say this company for dirt, they just pay the same rate no matter the truck, right? So in here we have 3 axle, 4 axle, 5 axle, 7 axles up to a semi. I'm just gonna go ahead and select all. Boom, just like that. Night shift differential. This is optional because not every company does night shift differential, so I made this optional. Um, so let's say I'm done with that rate, right? I'm gonna go ahead and save that. So now that I've saved my rate, now you can see this right here popped up. This right here is your material section, right? you get to select what. So we created the rate, we created a rate, we said it was for all these different type of axles, right? Now we need to tell the system what actual material is this for, you know? So I'm gonna go ahead and existing materials. What I'm gonna do is look up dirt, and we have a material log. So I think I had fill dirt in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and select fill dirt. Boom, just like that. So just like that, I was able to store the rate based off of the different axle. Had the option for night differential and had the option for what type of material. The reason why we had this in here is because we wanted to give you flexibility of how you wanted to structure, the pay rates, because all the pay rates are kind of different. So what do I mean by that? Let's say a company pays dirt, asphalt, and millings all the same, but they have different rates for different materials. You don't want to store all of them under the same category. You want to divvy them up and break them up, right? So you have the option to do that. I'm going to go ahead and save and close. And as you can see, the rate is directly attached in here. I get a quick summary of it. And, I gave it a nice name so I know what it is without having to click on it. All trucks, dirt rate, and the rate is 120. So um, let's say they pay asphalt. This is the asphalt rate for 6 or 7 axle. Let's say they pay 112. I'm just making these numbers up. Don't take me too serious on that. Um, 6, 7. So I go ahead and select the axles, 6, 7. And let's say sometimes they do night work. Night shift differential is $5, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and save that. I hit save. Boom. Now I get to select what material I would like it to apply to. Boom, just like that. Asphalt is right there. So I added asphalt. So as you can see, now I have a rate for asphalt 6, 7 axle, the rate and the differential, and then the material. The reason why this is so unique is whenever the rate changes, you can just go ahead and, open up the rate that you already have existing and update the rate. That's it. You don't need to, no one, everyone is up to date on the current rate. Therefore, you're billing right, you're invoicing right, and you're not losing money. And based off of this system, we'll show in some other modules, but what you can do with this is you can actually see, you get to see, what job is the most profitable and all those things, but let's not go down that route. Um, so right here, I went in, I added in my 2 separate rates. Boom, let's say I'm done with that. I'm still within the same company right here. So as you can see, if I go to client rates, I'll be able to see, the client rates. I can see actually the client. I don't really have data in here. That's how we enter some in, but you can see the client and you can see the different rates and, what they pay. Um, so that's what makes it neat. So let's go to, we went over how you enter in rates for, let's say the hourly rates, but in dump trucking, sometimes people pay you per ton, right? And the way we keep track of that is within the job records. All right, so once again, all this is fake data. This is not real. Um, I imported it and just so it looks nice so you can see how things work. So as you can see from the job perspective, I hit job records, I could see all the jobs in here. If I wanted to, I could activate, deactivate some jobs. It's all the way up to me. So if I go ahead and open like I'm creating a new job, these are the details within a job. So you get to select your client, the job name, job number. We know how important those are. The start date of the job, start date and time of the job. We know how that is. And then, you know, end date and time. So record keeping, end of the year, you could come in here and see, okay, I can see for Canon asked for how many jobs they had, how long the jobs ran for. See, all these are powerful data that will help you, run your business and, grow. This is supposed to save admin time. Yes, and it will do that. But also, in terms of long-term picture and the other modules that I'm going to introduce, they're also supposed to help you make, data-driven decisions. So you know exactly what's going on within your business. I know for dump trucking, it's kind of like, running and gunning. No one really know what's going on, that sort of a thing. But this allows you to have structured data. And, once you collect all the data, that's when your business turns really powerful. And then you get to use that data. So let's say job in here. I'm just 1456 test, something like that. So in here for the job details, you get to select whether it's an hourly job. And as you know, if it is an hourly job, we already entered in the hourly rates. So it would be up to you to enter in your client rates, obviously. But if it's a tonnage job, what ends up popping up right here is the tonnage rate. So the tonnage rate is dependent on, the hourly rate. Um, so let's say it was 450 per ton that they were wanting to pay. And then you get to select your material again. And as you can see, the material list can grow. We allowed the solution to be flexible so you can add materials whenever you need to. So let's say I'm looking for a material that is not in here. What I can do is hit new and boom, just like that. Let me get rid of this AI thing. Just like that, I can enter in a material. I'll just say test material. Um, so I can save, or save and close. I'll save and close and boom, just like that. That test material that I did is now showing up in here. As you know, the job contacts, sometimes there are job contacts in here. So what we did is um, just like that, this filters down into our client contacts, and these are all the client contacts, if you remember, for this particular client right here. It doesn't show you other ones, to help you out. You have the load site and dump site. All those are important information to have. Um, After you're done creating the job, I'm going to hit save. Boom, just like that, the job has been created. All right. If I go So going back to the client, I can actually hit in here and it'll take me directly to the client, or I could find the client back in client records. The system is really flexible on how you navigate. So it's very, very easy to use. It was designed that way. All right, so just like that, I hit that. Um, a little pop-up window came up. As you can see, still document is in here. Um, and you can see all the jobs, all the client jobs right here. As you can see, this is the one I just entered in. So that one is right there. Um, and yeah, so this right here is meant to cut down on your admin time, keep your business organized, help you keep in data so you can use it in the future to make data-driven decisions instead of going off a feel. So let's go back in here. So as you can see, we've gone over the different categories. Uh, we've gone over the different categories. This right here, just to show you that these same people were the ones that we saw in the job contacts. We've gone over the different things. So just a refresher, keeping client management, what we've done in this module is allowed you to keep track of your clients, your client contacts, as you can see in here. Sorry, let me go ahead and ungroup this. Ungroup, yeah, sorry. Just so it looks nice. Client contacts, client hourly rates, and job records. So either you could filter um, by actually searching for the job directly, because some clients might have accidentally have the same job number. I know that's rare, but or you could filter in here, you could group in here by the rate, or you could just look up, you could look them up in here. um and we didn't go over, but materials. So materials is simple. This is where you keep track of all your materials. This is the test material that I created in here. So you basically put all these materials in there, and then you can use them on, you can use them to create, your client hourly rates or your job records, just so the system is very, very fluid and flexible. I don't know if I'm not going over anything. I'll show you a couple more examples. So I'll open up different clients. So what I did was I actually went up in here and I uploaded data, fake data in here, and it was very easy to get all the data in here. So yeah, so as you can see for that client too, the document, they have a document section, keep track of all their documents. They have all their jobs in here. Keep track of that. They have the hourly rates. There's nothing in there now, but you get the point. I'll click on another one. I think for all these, I try to get some data in there, but there's nothing in documents. And again, just like that, you can see the different jobs that this client has going. Um, so yeah, so this concludes the demo slash tutorial of the client management system. If you like the video, please like the video. Help us spread this around. We actually designed this working directly with a dump truck company. So this is not like a out of the box solution where people create softwares without talking to the people. We have a dump truck client that actually uses this and it saves them a lot of time and money. So as I was saying, you could be a dump truck owner, you could be a broker. It's honestly up to you. But you can obviously see the business case and how efficient this can be. Make sure you like the video, share, subscribe. I'm gonna have more videos coming up. Let me know what else you would like me to cover first. If not, I'll just go ahead and pick one at random. I believe we have like the ticket management in there. We have the invoice management. There's a lot of things for us to go over, but we'll get there. Um, yeah, and let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the solution. Remember, all these fields in here are all customizable. This is just a template to just show you how the system works or how it can work. Obviously, you can build this and mold this around your business. So, yeah, I'll see you guys on the